Twitch.
Okay.
So we should be ready to rock and roll. I'm supposed to start a countdown timer, but I just kind of forgot. So we're just gonna go straight in. Just gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
Make sure that's muted. Make sure. Okay, I'm gonna hear myself again. There we go. We should be good.
Should be good.
Should be live.
Okay.
Should be live.
Oh no, I'm stripping too.
Oh, he's stripped. That's the best way to start a stream.
Is it?
Just to
start playing that music.
Rip it all. Take it off. Woo!
Yeah.
Let me get this going too. We can have a real party.
Oh, all right. Slather me on. Yeah.
Let's just really get
nobody.
Get this party.
Not even off the nip.
Get this party started. Get this party. Okay, Renee, cool. Okay, let me test something since she's done that. There we go. See, it does work. Woo!
How? Wait, I don't see you on Twitch yet.
What kind of podcast is this?
Whoa.
Let me refresh.
Kalan, can you see that on that screen?
I can, yeah.
You can? Sweet.
Kind of.
What? See, I can do all this.
Wish I brought my glasses. I should read this
I do not see you. What the hell?
It's like an old man.
I must have blocked
there it goes.
Jeff earlier so he couldn't be part of this.
Yeah.
Wow, rude.
There you go.
Just Florida in general.
It's just Florida.
That's not nice. It's not nice at all.
There we go. I'm just every comment that comes up, I'm just like putting on the screen right now. So feel free to spam us, guys. Jeff, you're not streaming from your account, right? Right, Jeff. Oh, look, see, there's another one. Ooh, see, we're just living it large. This is fun. Actually, I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Are you?
Well, you know, I don't get out much, guys.
Well, it's clear. I mean, you're British. It makes sense.
I don't get out, guys. All right, let's make sure everything else is working.
Okay.
Mic check 1, 2. Kalan, say some more saucy things.
Hey, more saucy things coming your way.
Oh,
Right.
Can you hear us, Jeff? All good?
Okay.
Loud and clear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listeners or streamers or Twitchers, can you hear us too? Let us know in the comments. Oh, look at this. This is great. This is all fun. I don't know if any of this is coming through on Twitch, though.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear you 3, 4, heard. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Let's bring up
This guy grinning ear to ear.
this guy.
Wow.
Grinning ear to ear.
Wow. How do you say that in the old British lingo?
I would be chuffed to bits.
Chuffed to bits.
Yeah.
Chuffed.
Yes, okay.
Chuffed. Chuffed to bits is a British phrase, which basically means you're very happy. You're like,
Chuffed.
You're chuffed. You know, like, oh, I saved so much money. I'm chuffed.
Wow. That's not what I got from that. I got violence.
If a British person ever comes up to Jeff and says, I'm so chuffed, he's going to be like, I'm ready to take you on.
Let's go. Let's do this.
It's going to be like,
he's definitely a redcoat. He's trying to chuck me.
Oh, this is going to be great. And we haven't even started yet either. This is awesome. All right, let's.
You're recording all this, right?
Hopefully. I don't know how to record. I'm just kidding. All right, let's do this. Jeff, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Audience, you ready? Let's see. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome to another fine class here at our cool and casual place of learning. My name is James Rose, resident bloke, and our weekly outing wouldn't be complete without the bro of the show, Mr. Alan with the K. Kalan. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm enjoying the sun. We have another week of like rain, and I'm just kind of over it. I'm over it. I think I'm going to just have to pack up, move to Florida.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a lot of rain down there? Is that a thing?
It rained like twice in 2 weeks.
We're packing up and moving.
Let's go.
We're doing it.
Let's just make sure we have a lot of gas because apparently gas is in short supply. But
Is gas in short supply?
it is true.
Yeah.
No, I don't pay attention. Wow, where have I been?
I feel like they've been I've seen pictures where they've been putting gasoline in like bags. Have you seen this?
What?
Yeah. So obviously big crisis.
This is a real thing. I've been buying gas at Costco, and I just learned about this, and it's so much cheaper.
It is?
Oh, yeah,
gosh.
Yeah.
Give me a Costco
We're
membership.
between 10 to 25 cents cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds...
a little pro tip. When you buy your little Euro Jap car, you pay attention to little things like premium gas. Oh, it requires premium gas.
Premium.
Not a big deal, right? Oh, it is. Because that stuff's expensive AF.
It is.
Like, yeah. So I went to Costco. Like, here we have Quick Trip. I don't know what you have down there, but here we have Quick Trip, and Quick Trip is like $3.25 a gallon for premium gas, and then I go to Costco and it's like $2.65.
Mhm.
I don't even know how that works out, but that's amazing.
I can't do that math, honestly. I'm not very good at
Amazing.
math.
Yeah.
But you know what's fun though? Like if you are out of gas, you know what's a very combustible fuel?
What,
Marmite.
for your intestines, maybe.
It's gross.
So
Thank you.
you know, I wish sponsored
Bros
one day.
unite.
Bros
Down
one
with the
side,
Marmite.
blokes the other side. Oh, this podcast is getting out of control. We are excited today to have a live audience. Welcome, friends. Feel free to interact with us.
Very cool.
Give us
Very
your
cool.
questions. I'll do the best I can. This is new tech for us, Kalan.
This is strange.
It's
It's
kind of
a little
strange,
weird.
but it's kind of exciting. It's
I
kind of
got a Peter tingle.
a Peter tingle. I got
Definitely.
sizzling
Spider senses are just-
sausage feels.
Sizzling sausage feels.
So give us your questions, guys, as we go. Give us your stories. Give us your Marmite testimonies. All of that stuff.
Yeah, there's zero.
Nobody
of those.
has that.
Nope.
Plenty
Nobody-
should have those. But anyway, today we're going to continue our thirst for knowledge by looking over some of those fitness questions. Many people continue to struggle with their quest for fitness with misinformation found online versus opinions from their friends. So how do we piece together these fitness truths? To help unpack these, of course, our expert guest here, he began his journey when he enlisted in the United States Army, serving tours in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. After service, he continued his fitness journey, obtaining his bachelor's in anatomy, physiology, and kinesiology, and working in numerous, can't even speak, areas of the medical field. He honed his expertise by becoming a certified personal trainer and currently runs an online fitness community known as the Mumfurious Fitness Movement, which streams daily workouts via good old Twitch. Guys, I am beyond excited to introduce to the podcast Mr. Jeff Mumford. Jeff, sir, how are you?
Wow.
Hello. I'm
We
doing
have
good.
Mumford and Sons on our. This is amazing.
This is one of those things where I just got super excited because, Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jeff. Damn.
Jeff.
That's a shame.
You were reading my bio. I'm like, where do you get that from? Like,
What are you talking about? I wrote that personally, word for word.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
impressive.
copy and paste that,
was
anywhere.
yeah, that was a great intro.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll take all the credit. So we're going to talk about some fitness challenges today, some fitness questions that you guys might have, just some kind of general overlooks of certain things that we may think are true, but maybe not true. But I want to just kind of tease Jeff's fitness expertise. So right now, there is a fitness challenge going on the Twitch community. I think it's run by a Yoga Sweet Spot. And what it is, Kalan, is basically you have a fitness tracker on, and when you work out, it logs your active minutes.
Oh, okay.
Active minutes.
Okay. Cool.
So right now, of course, Jeff is in this challenge. There's a lot of people on the Twitch that are in this challenge. Somehow, Jeff has managed to clock an insane amount of active minutes. So I'm just bringing this up on my computer right now. So right now, like I'm 16th, so I'm doing great. 132 active minutes, could be better.
Wow. Okay.
But if we scroll up the leaderboard to number one, Mumfurious, Jeff Mumford, 4,066 active minutes. And this challenge started in early, when did it
Monday.
start?
May,
Okay.
May 1st.
May 1st.
Oh, May 1st.
May
Okay.
1st. So
Wow. 4,000?
Mhm.
4,000.
that's quite a lot.
That's a few.
So clearly hashtag built different. But
Yeah.
how
The true Iron Man is our guest. This is
I just
amazing.
need to know how is this possible? How have you managed? How are you so physically fit, sir?
Damn. I only wear the watch whenever I'm working out. So if I'm not
He's
working
wearing
out,
it now.
I wear the watch.
Wow. Humble brag. Okay. That's amazing.
I typically do about 4 to 5 workouts a day.
Holy smokes.
So like I'll wake up in the morning, and then my online personal training group, we meet at 9. Well, the first group meets at 9, and then I'll do the Twitch workout at noon, and then I'll leave Twitch and go to the box, and I'll do either my own workout or whatever they have programmed, mix and match, and then I'll come home and I'll do the evening workout with the group.
Jeez.
That's wild. So
Jeez.
this kind of leads me to my first question. So in terms of how much a person should be working out. Now, again, hashtag built different. But should someone who's maybe starting out in their fitness journey be working out 4 times a day? Is there an argument for overtraining for certain people? Like, give us the breakdown for those people who kind of need to know what the ultimate cutoff should be for training.
if you're a couch potato, like I would recommend you move in, like work out 1 to 3 times a week to get started, and then you want to pick up like extra days as you go along. The problem is that biologically, as we age, so like my oldest son, he is 23. So in your 20s,
a 23-year-old. Wow.
Yeah. And my youngest turns 18 at the end of the month.
Holy smokes, guy.
So
you're
like
logging 4,000 minutes. Jeez.
So when you're in your 20s, you can get away with working out 3 days a week and net like awesome gains. As you age, you have to start adding days. So like when you get to your 40s and 50s, you should be up 4, 5, 6 days a week. And then like when you pass your 50s, like you to your 60s, you have to work out, do some kind of working out, like resistance band training, etc., 6 to 7 days a week, because like your muscles break down just over time. And in order to keep your gains and stay strong, you have to actually put in more work. So it depends on where you are. Like I've had, if you see in the chat, like there's Sir Gaines right there. So Sir Gaines, when he started, I'm just gonna point him out. Just point Sir Gaines out. Like Sir Gaines would historically do like 3 of the online workouts, and then we hit a deload week. And I told him, I said, this is the week where you want to start to bump it up. And he showed up every day for deload week, and then like he's been 5, 6 days a week now with the group. But it's something that you build up slowly, but also you can't kill yourself every day. So yes, I am doing lots of workouts. There might be a couple workouts where I like kill myself, but you can't take it to the max every day, every workout. You just don't have that kind of physical bandwidth to sustain that.
I guess my question for you would be like, if you're working out as often as you are, like how many calories are you taking in? I mean, you're like the workout Michael Phelps.
So I'm actually not eating a lot on a consistent basis.
Okay.
I'm around in between 2,000 and 3,000 calories a day in terms of like intake.
Really?
But I like donuts, so
we have vices. That's okay.
Yes, we do.
Well, get that out of here.
And like I've had days where I'll log 3,000 active calories burned, and days where I'll log like 6,000 active calories burned.
Wow.
So, it just depends on what the activity is for that day. Well, the set of activities for that day.
So Kalan and I are obviously big fans of the old CrossFit. We dabble, right?
We dabble.
We dabble, get the feet wet. We both recently did the CrossFit Open. Well, elements of it, right?
Yeah, I didn't actually sign up for it.
Didn't actually sign up, but you did some of the workouts?
Because pride.
There you go. We'll take that. So in terms of like the actual types of workouts that one can do to start their fitness journey, would you recommend someone jump into something like CrossFit? Is that maybe a little too much? What kinds of exercises do you think people should start off with?
That's like a double-edged question. It depends on the box, right? So I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel, multiple places throughout the world, and I've dropped into dozens of boxes. And one of the things they say in the CrossFit space is that, you come into the box and it's a happy family, whatever. That's just not every box is different. And then it just so happened that this year, so I haven't done like CrossFit, I haven't been a part of a box for like 3 years. So this year I did the Open, and I go to, I tried to look up the box I did the 2019 Open in, but I couldn't get a hold of them. And I happened to see there was another box down the street. I'm like, cool. Well, I called them. They're like, yeah, sure, come on in. So I came in and did 21.2, because I did 21.1 in Orlando, Kissimmee. And I walked into the box. I just had my COVID shot, and it was the snatch and box jump burpee over things.
That one you did do, right?
I did. Unfortunately, yeah. Regrets were real on that one.
Oh my God. And so I got the shot in my left arm, and I go to warm up for the 50-pound snatch, and I got my arm here and just dropped the weight. Like, arm just didn't function. And I asked them, I'm like, I'm gonna drop the weight probably a lot of times. Is that okay? Because I want to break your shit. And they were like, yes, it's totally fine. And ended up doing the workout. I got done with like maybe 30 seconds left before time cap.
Wow.
But my arm was shot. And then
literally,
so I didn't know they had a doctor on staff, and he was actually there, and they were testing this laser light therapy. And he's like, can I put the laser light on your arm? I'm like, sure, I don't know what you're talking about, but let's go. And I couldn't do this without pain. 3 minutes later,
whoa,
to go straight up. And I was
okay,
like,
so what is that?
How does that work exactly?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a high focus. I'm paraphrasing. High focused red light beam that they just take and rub it all along the surface of whatever area is being worked on, and it's supposed to like help with inflammation, muscle repair, all that great stuff. And I kid you not, my arm, I struggled to do this, and I could lift it straight up within 3 minutes. And I was like, wow. And so we leave the box, and I told Renee, I'm like, it's a cool box. Like, that was weird. So I come back and I do 21.3, and then I left the box again, and I'm like, you know what? I think I would join that box. And I had never wanted to join a box again. You know, I was like, I had sworn off CrossFit, etc. And I'm like, this box is amazing. And so the box is called CrossFit Out of the Box.
Okay.
And,
takes notes.
Stop! I messed up as soon as I said it.
Got him. Oh, triangulate those satellites. CrossFit out of the box. Yes, I'm getting closer, guys. That's awesome. Anyways, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And so they, you know, like I don't know what you know about like my right knee, but I'm a candidate for a total knee replacement on my right knee. And so Dr. Carlos asked if I wanted to have the laser light therapy before the workout or after. And I'm like, all right, let's try it before. So he did both knees. I didn't have to band my knees at all. My front squats and thrusters were beautiful. My squat form was fantastic. I was able to get one muscle up. So, and then I called it quits. And then after that, I came back the next week and joined the box. And the cool part about this particular box is that it's the first box I've run into that's, it's a female owned box. I've seen other female owned box, but it's all female coaches. Not because like, I don't think that's what they set out to do, but that's just what it is right now. And it really is a homely atmosphere, and they actually spend time. There's so many like different groups in terms of like skill levels, and everybody fits in somewhere, and everyone supports each other. Like there's days where I like crush everybody on the leaderboard, and there's other days I get crushed, and like no one's good at everything. And you know, like even the best people in the box, like I was talking this morning on Twitch about how I ran into the 2-box beast, and then I did the workout twice, and then I got a minute and a half faster the second time I did it. And after that, like they accepted me into like the brotherhood. They asked me to go get wings and gave me exchange phone numbers. I'm like, I'm in. I have friends.
I have been chosen.
But like, you know, to go back to your original question though, like what I tell people, like what we were doing on Twitch, I think that's what people should do. They're basically calisthenic movements. We use resistance bands predominantly, like we have those blue and red NT loops and whatnot. And, you know, like I feel like you want to start with something low impact like that. And then if you want to graduate to heavier weights or a barbell. So like JoJo, she's in the chat right now. Like she's our sus individual, but she's actually really cool. But she ended up going to the store and finally buying a barbell. She never wanted to invest in weights at all. And then she finally went and got a barbell. She thought it was 45 pounds. It was only 35. But like, you know, and then she got a set of power blocks and whatnot. And she's just, you know, she's getting better as time goes on. But like you graduate up into that. You don't just go 0 to hero immediately. It takes time.
Right. And I think a lot of people oftentimes look at the resistance bands and kind of scoff at them like, man, you know, it's not a big deal. But a friend of mine runs a TRX gym locally here in Kansas City. And I've done a workout with him. It's no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff can kick your butt. Yeah. And it's just like, these are just bands?
Yeah, what is the term for that? Suspension training or body weight training? Yeah. Like,
like that.
It kicks. You're right, though. It does.
It's intense.
Let's talk a little bit about nutrition stuff, because obviously the workout stuff is one part of the whole fitness package. But when it comes to nutrition, like what are some of those key tips that you can give to people? Like, make sure you are doing this, make sure you're avoiding that. Like, what are some of those immediate go-tos for you, Jeff?
Protein and water. Like, you're not getting enough protein and water, like you can call it quits. So like on my online personal training group, we had this, what we call Team Num Num check-in. So basically I would give everyone their macros who wanted macros. And then they had to check in every day, like they had to record everything that they had eaten. And I told them the goal is not to keep you, it's to educate you, to teach you how to eat. Once you learn how to do it, then you go do whatever the hell you want to do. But protein, people think they're getting enough protein, but they really aren't. And then, like, yes, you can drink enough water, but if you're not getting enough electrolytes, the water is just going to flush right out of you. So, making sure like you're getting quality protein. And by quality protein, I did a Q&A about PDCAAS, which basically is the U.S. national standard for seeing how much protein is in a food source. And so, like, if it's less than a certain percent, that means that when a rat ate it and defecated it out, there was not enough discernible protein in there for it to make a difference. But
when you break it down like that,
I was gonna say, get rats involved.
But like people don't. I mean, they just read a package and it says it's got X amount of percent of protein, so they think they're getting that. But in reality, they're not actually getting the amount of protein they think they're getting. So like vetting your protein from viable sources, etc. And it sounds like a lot of work, but like, once you get used to it, you can just eyeball it and go from there.
So what is the equation then? Because a lot of people like, I need to eat X amount a day in order to get those gains.
Oh, isn't that tough?
I mean well, I kind of know the answer for me because I'm very lean anyway, and I have a very high metabolism.
Okay, calm down,
so,
geez.
this is not me. Lots of this.
Okay, yeah,
gross.
Always gets thrown in every so often, guys.
That's because your stomach's upset every time you eat that.
Exactly.
Now, guys, come on.
Yeah, you want to clear out the intestine, man.
It'll do it.
Cleansing.
It's actually rich in B12. Anyway,
rich in diarrhea.
So yeah, how much protein should we be taking on?
It depends on what you're doing as a individual and like how much you weigh, what the goal is. Like, do you want to gain weight? Do you want to lose weight? So humans, if you just sit on the couch for 24 hours, your body needs about 30 to 60 grams of protein, depending on your body mass, just for organ function and for you to be able to live. And so, like, when I ask people how much protein they eat, like, some people will be like, I had 70 or 80 grams. I'm like, you just barely like had
that threshold. Yeah.
And you did 2 workouts. Like, how? So I mean, I'm pretty sure like we've heard like 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight, etc. But what's not taken into account is age. So age is a factor, and also like your actual physical ability. If you're not that active, then you're not going to need 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. It's just too much.
And then what about the other two? So talking about carbs and fats here. So obviously a lot of people are like, oh, carbs, they're like the enemy, but are they the enemy? Should we be having like more of them? Like, give us the breakdown of the other 2 macronutrients.
So like, once you learn to eat, carbs are like going to be your best friend, because protein synthesis requires a decent amount of glucose, i.e. sugar/carbs, to actually grow and facilitate protein muscle growth. So if you're not getting enough carbs, then that's not going to happen. And I know, like, we talk about like the keto diet, for example, and keto was for epileptic children. So that's how
I did not know that.
I know them, yeah.
And I've done keto. I've done tons of diets. I've done keto. I've done Atkins. I've done RP. I've done carnivore. I've gone vegan. Because I feel like as a coach, if someone comes to me with weird ass diets, I'm like, I need to try it and learn about it before I can counsel you on it.
So which one has been your preferred one, or which one do you recommend out of the ones you just mentioned?
My personal favorite for me would be carnivore.
Oh, nothing but the meats. All right.
Got to eat the dinosaurs.
My favorite kind of pizza. Meat it.
All the meats.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that. Yeah. But it's funny though, because everyone does have, like, there's so many different types of diet plans out there that do work for some people, and then others they don't work for. And so I guess the question is for that, like, is there certain people whose these plans are designed better for, or is it more of a case of they're eliminating something from their diet that's been in there that shouldn't have been in there, that's ultimately making them lose the weight or gain the muscle or whatever it is? And
everyone's different, and so like, whenever I screen somebody, I ask them like what their medical history is. If you have a thyroid issue, then we're going to have to make some adjustments. If you have your like if your gallbladder has been removed, which I had a client tell me we did a Camp Baby Dragon meetup thing, and she told me there, after I've been working with her for like several months, that, oh yeah, by the way, I don't have a gallbladder. I'm like, I asked you before, and that didn't come up. So like, people who don't have gallbladders don't process fat the same, or like if you have, if you've got like gluten intolerance, et cetera, like whoever's working with you needs to know all that information. And then you need a tailored plan that fits you. You can toss out generalized macros and most people will get some kind of success. But, if you hit somebody with a lot of carbs and you don't know if they have like dementia, Alzheimer's, et cetera, in their family, and then they complain to you of brain fog. So what we know through research is that sugar is primarily the chief ingredient that causes that. And once you cut the carbs or the glucose out, that goes away. But if you're trying to tell somebody, hey, you need you to eat like 1 million grams of protein, 1 million grams of carbs, and they're like, I can't think straight, like there's something wrong.
And then that's interesting too, is that there's always going to be that element of a lot of people like, oh, you just got to, balance the energy in versus the energy out. But like you said, Jeff, it kind of goes beyond that. And Jojo's question actually is a good one. What kind of adjustments would you make for thyroid issues or no gallbladder? Like, how do you adjust for things like that?
So like if you have like thyroid issues, like first off, like you obviously want to get it checked. If you have to take Synthroid, et cetera, then like you want to make sure you're on the proper medications that you need to be on for that. I've had people who do well with a higher protein diet and like moderate carbs, moderate fats. And I've had people who do much better with a moderate protein, but higher carbs and moderate fat. So like everyone's different. Gallbladder, you definitely want to make sure that they're not complaining about like stomach issues, et cetera. If they have like loose stools, et cetera, then you definitely want to make sure their fat content is not super high. But most people, unless you write it down, you'd be surprised like what goes in your mouth. You're like, oh my God, my diet's pretty clean. And we ask them to write it down. Like, no, you're good. You're good.
Just don't eat that. Eat more of this.
No.
I'm just going to keep bringing it up every so often, guys. It's just going to make that appearance. Like I don't even summon it. It summons itself.
I wish I had a dart. I could just like throw it at everything.
Let's put it right here.
I missed. Got
the eye instead.
Yeah.
Let's talk about injury stuff because Jeff, I know you've got you already kind of teased stuff with your knee, but actually, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like what you've gone through with your knee, what the plans are, how it happened? If you can share some stuff with that.
If it's something like fighting an alligator or crocodile or a dinosaur.
I wish
I'm all for it.
Be awesome stories.
I believe it.
I banged it up multiple times in the Army, and then I've had to wear braces, etc. Then I got out, and 2 weeks before I started my dance journey, I learned West Coast Swing in January, and then I was told there was a competition in March. I'm like, I'm going, and I was playing indoor soccer at the time, and I was just schooling these cats. It was great. I was having a phenomenal game, and these two guys worked together, and they clipped me. It was intentional, and just jacked my knee up, tore the ACL.
Wow.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. Yeah, with soccer especially, ACL tears are.
So being a soccer fan, I mean, are you Premier League or La Liga? We don't need to watch.
Sorry, I had to stretch there. That's okay though. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I do like the Premier League, but I also love Messi and Ronaldo.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a Beckman fan, so
slight recovery there. Do you have a team out of interest?
No,
you follow?
not really.
No. Okay. Well, we can talk later about Tottenham Hotspur.
That's not necessary.
There it is.
Yeah.
They're not doing so great right now, but brighter times are ahead. Better times are ahead.
Yeah, their mascot's a chicken.
It's not it is a chicken, but anyway, it's a chicken on a ball. Okay, yeah. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
So with your knee, then the plans are what exactly, and what things have you been doing, I guess, to make sure that the knee doesn't get like that much worse?
Well, so after I had that soccer incident, so I also have bone on bone bruising and lack of cartilage in the knee, etc. And I wore this heavy duty knee brace for about 6 years. I didn't walk without it. I didn't dance without it. And so like squatting and all that stuff just wasn't happening. I was just too scared. And finally, I called it the old man walk of shame because it hurt to sit, lay down, stand up, whatever. And I had to hold on to buildings and cars to walk.
Wow.
So I decided, I'm like, all right, we need to get this done. Go to the VA. They're like, all right, we're going to set you up with PT and get you your knee replacement. I was going to have it done in Chicago. And so they were giving me like this TheraBand stuff. And I'm like, I went to school for this. And this is BS. Like, I can do better. And in 2 weeks, I came out of the knee brace and started running, jumping, squatting, and just kind of took off from there. Unfortunately, because of damage to the area, it's just a matter of time before, like it just quits on you. And so like I've been having daily pain 24/7 for probably the last several months now. So Friday I go in for my MRI, and then Monday I have the ortho consult. But the goal is to put the knee replacement as the last resort, because I'm too happy to have a knee replacement, because I'll just have to have it done again.
Dude, yeah, I hear that one surgery in particular is just rough.
Yeah,
like it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. So then mentally, how have you got through it, if I can put it that way? Like, what advice can you give to listeners who maybe have a similar injury or are struggling with it? Like, what things kind of got you to see the positive side of things, if I can put it that way? So
as I ask all the people I work with, do you want the PC Jeff answer, or you want the real Jeff answer?
The real Jeff answer. Yes, please.
So,
honesty.
For me, I just deal with it. And by dealing with it, I don't ignore it, but I try to do whatever I can, with mobility. I have been educating myself to do different kinds of movements and modalities, and I've been able to keep pace with where I currently want to be. So like today, was doing front squats, and we were doing seated front squats, and my 1 rep max for a front squat is 295.
Wow.
But when I started a month ago, it was only 225. And so I went from that to that in about 5 weeks. And then I hit 315 today for 3. And I'm like,
wow.
All right, let's go.
I can't got it.
Shit, but
it's okay.
I can run squat. But like it's literally, we all have injuries. We've all been hurt. And most people, when they get injured or they have like a owie, they just want to shut down. And I tell my group, I'm like, when I'm injured, I actually like the process of being injured, because it makes me go back and rework what I did to get there. And then how can I do better to basically bulletproof myself so that doesn't happen again, and or recover from that. So like, that's what I would tell people. But most people, like, they get hurt, they want to sit down for 2 3 weeks. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Have you had to deal with any injuries, Kalan? I don't think you've told me of any.
I mean,
a few.
Yeah. Your right shoulder's got some issues. I play a lot of volleyball. I've stressed the old rotator cuff a little.
That old one.
Gives me some fits here and there, but
Sure.
That's about it.
For me, it's my back. I've had lower back issues like crazy. Yeah. So I would be, it's kind of funny too, because I try and think, mindful, good form and all that, but just, it's one of those things where you just, one bad rep or one bad set or whatever, it's
can throw
it
that a whack.
And then you feel like you're out for, 4 to 5 weeks, and it's
but that mentality that you have, Jeff, I think that's actually really cool. That's how you approach it and tackle it. That you're looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes people miss out on the perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's so easy to just give into the negative instead of trying to be like, how can I do this better and not have this happen again? I think that's really cool.
Well, especially too, a lot of people, when they get injuries, they almost quit altogether.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that's it. Fitness is not for me. And then, of course,
they
don't think about the things that they could do outside of their injury. Let's say, they injure their knee, or maybe do some upper body work, simple stuff like that. It's just easy solutions, but people are just so, I'm done, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. And something I want to talk to you about, Jeff, is that you seems like you do a lot of work with mobility. And I think that's an underappreciated area. I know that's an area that I definitely underappreciate, because I'm running into issues now where it's like I am beginning to blossom as a man and starting to add some muscle here and there. And I'm running into that issue where it's like, my shoulder, I can't stretch all the way up this way, or I can't, my stretch is like, I need to stretch more. It's just a thing. That's true. My mobility sucks.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So in terms of like putting mobility into your workout programs, Jeff, like what do you recommend are some of those like ultimate go-tos? You have to do this, and this in every part of your workout.
So like if you look at the beginning of like the 15 minutes starting soon screen on our Twitch channel, I have like some movements that you can do to warm up. But when I take on new people, I tell them the list of mobility things I need them to do. And for some people, depending on their level of fitness, all they're doing for several weeks is mobility. That's your workout. And like, I know for me in my own journey, I was like, I'm not stretching or doing mobility. I'm a man. Like I'm good.
And that's the attitude I had. And still have kind of.
I got this.
and so your body tells you like, you know what, hold my beer and you suck.
Yeah.
So
right there too.
And like I often tell the story, one of my first CrossFit workouts, we were doing overhead squats. And there was a lady to my right with 55 pounds. I had a 45-pound barbell. Lady to my left with 35 pounds. I could not hold the 45-pound barbell over my head and do an overhead squat. I'm like, what is going on? So the coach gave me the PVC pipe, couldn't hold that. And he was like,
wow.
I'm like, shit. So, like it's definitely been a labor of love. And I spent a whole year I get to the box around 5:30 and I do nothing but mobility from 5:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then I start my workout. And I did that for a year straight.
Wow.
Like, you have to. At some point you have to, like either you do it on your own or your body makes you.
Yeah.
I think it's hard too, because a lot of people who, they just want to get to the gym, they only have like a short window of time. They want to get in, they want to do the quick workout and then leave.
And that's where I'm at. Like I get to the gym and we do a little stretch and then do our workout. Then I'm like, deuces, and I go and I need to make that time to actually invest in stretching and work on my mobility because it's becoming an issue.
Renee, please explain how mobility is different from stretching.
So like most people think that if they feel tight muscles, that stretching is the go-to. For most people, a tight muscle is a weak muscle, and it means that you're not actually strong in that muscle. There are some instances where like you definitely want to work on stretching. But if you think about flexibility, like so if you take like a garden hose and you just bend it, right? So it's flexible. Now, if you run water through it and bend it, it's got mobility because it can carry a load at the same time and still be flexible. So like what I try to tell people is that the goal, you can't really have one without the other. You can't have mobility without flexibility. And then you add strength in there. You can't be strong and not mobile and flexible. You can't be flexible and mobile without strength. Like you need all that in order to be a well-balanced individual. So like people who have like can hyperextend their joints and whatnot. For a lot of those individuals, it's because they just lack the solid musculature and tendon and connective tissue strength to keep the joint in place. So like once you get that stronger, like things change. So like in terms of mobility, so for you were saying that your back is a constant issue.
It is.
Like so most people for their back, it comes down to several things. Just offshooting is that your pelvic tilt is off. Your hamstrings aren't firing, your glutes aren't firing to their peak capacity, like what they need to be firing, or your lumbar spine, the vertebrae are kind of stuck together. So they're not sharing the load. Like you want to be able to bend and have your spine look like that as you bend over. But if you bend over and your spine, like I can put a dinner plate on your back, then your vertebrae aren't sharing the load of whatever you're trying to lift. So like deadlifting, cleaning, snatching, etc. That's going to be miserable.
I think what he just said is basically quit being a weak dick.
That's probably what it is. Well, it's
well said, Jeff.
Or maybe more of this. I mean,
no, that's clearly not helping you.
It's maybe you need to lay off of that. That's really the problem.
I don't know, guys. Come on, steady on. Back's doing great now, thanks to a couple of doses of the old Marmite.
This dude tried to tell us that you rub Marmite on your hands because it was Bros and Blokes, myself, Jules, and Elena. We all did the open, right? And so there was this workout, I think it was the last workout where we were on the bar and everybody showed their hands and like they took a picture of their hands and my hands were pretty at the time. And Bro's supposed to like, you just take some Marmite and rub it on your hands and then make it all better.
My calluses were just ripped off. Like my hands are better now. It's maybe the scars are still there a little bit, but oh my gosh, like that workout, like I told you about it. I was like, my
just gnarly, man.
Raw,
Yeah.
And get some Marmite and just
happened again today.
To you?
No.
Oh.
Amanda, yeah.
Oh, Amanda.
Tore,
okay.
Yeah, I tore her hand like from here all the way to here. The big old skin flap, just flap.
Oh,
96 pull-ups. I had tape on the bar, man. That stuff is just.
So that's the thing. Like tape is supposed to help you,
man,
but
don't do it.
Ultimately,
don't do it.
I will not pull up on the bar if there's tape on it.
Nope.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
We all learn lessons. Certain things we don't think about, but I learned that lesson, I guess, the hard way, and the calluses certainly did too. So, anyway, yes.
Makes you look like a man, a real man.
Anything else, Kalan, that we haven't asked Jeff yet? We talked a little bit about injury, about obviously the CrossFit. Anything that you can think of that's like big for you in terms of working out? Anything fitness related?
I mean,
there's so much.
There is. We do a lot of Olympic lifting at our gym, and that's something that I'm just not good at. Like it's something that I enjoy. Bro lifts, International Chest Day for the 7th day in a row.
Yep.
But when it comes to like, oh hey, I like power cleans, clean and jerks, things like that. But when it comes to overhead squats or snatching, I hate snatches. Hate it, man. Like it's just
coordination for me.
It sucks.
I don't know, it's weird.
And I hate squats. I really hate squats. Just not a fan.
Is that because you feel like you're slightly taller, you have a little bit further to go?
I do. I really do. And as much as I like, do what?
How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, okay, here.
Yeah, and I've got like caveman length arms. I mean, like knuckle drag. Like the arm enters the room 3 days before I do. It's ridiculous. So
it's one of those things. We all have those one exercises that we hate. Like for me, I don't know. Like I don't mind
push-ups. I'm really bad at push-ups too.
See, I like push-ups. I'm not bad.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we have Murph coming up.
Yes, let's talk about that.
We've been doing Murph prep on Wednesdays at our gym, and I just refuse to call it a box. I'm sorry, Jeff. But we have Murph prep every Wednesday. Today was no different, and I just. Push-ups, they're kind of like the bane of my existence. I just get burned out so hard on push-ups.
Yeah, for me, I don't mind push-ups so much. Maybe that's because I'm lighter, so you
got those wee Brit arms.
Wee Brit arms. I don't know, like maybe some more on this.
Some.
Anyway, for the Murph though, like for me, it's the run.
Really?
Like, I hate running.
Jeff, you've done Murph?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you tackle it?
I actually don't have a problem with any of the movements.
We've established you're a badass.
Hashtag built different.
Yeah.
It like for me, I just kind of go in there with like a set plan, like how many reps I want to do in a row.
Yeah, and what do you do? Do you do the 5, 10, 15, like 20?
No, straight.
No. Whoa.
So do the 100 pull-ups, the 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats.
Okay. All right. Beast mode. Sure.
Beast mode for sure. That to me, like I haven't got there yet.
Nope.
That to me, how do you break it up then? If you're doing 100 pull-ups straight, do you do like 10 sets of 10 or?
Are you butterflying?
So I actually can't butterfly, and all I know how to do is strict until the workout that we did at the box yesterday. It was a chipper 15, 12, 9, 6, 3 of hang power cleans and then pull-ups. It wasn't until I got to 9 that I learned how to kip. Like I actually could do it.
And you can feel it. Like once you feel that, and it just clicks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I did the workout again, and that's the one I did like a minute and a half faster.
You did 2 chippers in a day?
Yeah, like within like 30 minutes of each other.
I'm just binging up all the comments about he's built different.
He
exists. Yeah.
Hashtag gifted.
There's another one right there. Thanks, guys. Yeah, keep them coming. But I think for a lot of people too, I actually have some clients who are going to do Murph for the first time this year, and I put together a little fundraiser. And I've been telling them, like, don't get overwhelmed by the volume of the work. Like, don't look at it and go, oh my gosh, I've got to do all of this. Like, just break it down.
It is scary.
It is scary when you first see it, but I think it's just like take it one step at a time, break it up. We're going to do it as a group. So we'll start with a run, and then the sense of accomplishment afterwards when you've done it, you're just like, yeah, I've actually done this. Some people are like, I didn't think I could even do it. But yeah, Memorial Day, you're doing it right?
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, so we've got goals. With the vest, without the vest?
No
vest.
I am not Mumford.
I'm not ready for this yet. Before we wrap up, chat, if you have any last questions, now is the time to throw them in there. So let us know if you've got any questions for Jeff on this fine recording. Jeff, tell us a little bit about the MumFit group, the MumFit Plus group. Tell us about that, how it works.
So I have a online training group that I do off of Facebook. And so in January, so I had like a base group that I was running for a while. I still have the base group, but then we started the Plus group. And that was for people who actually wanted to work on getting stronger. So the base group is about learning how to do mobility, learning about how to move better, learning about diet and nutrition. And then the Plus group is designed to, we put all that together and now let's go get strong. And so like for me, like just mentally, that group has been great for me because it's the workouts I like to do and the programming I like to do. I totally believe in doing the unsexy work. So like the accessory movements that most people don't like doing. And I used to be one of those people. Like I'm not doing accessory movements. It's gross. But like we live off the accessory movements. And my goal is every couple of weeks, I'll change it up a little bit to challenge them. And then we have a deload week every 6 to 7 weeks. But like that's been my baby. So like even if Corona's over in Florida, we beat it on last Monday.
Well done.
That's what our governor said. So like if I still plan on keeping that group because that's my passion and like that's the workouts I like doing. The Twitch group is just for anybody of any fitness level. You get off the couch and you can do something. There's modifications for literally everything that we do. And then, so now people on the Twitch group are getting so much better that they're starting to, just move faster and they can put together, more reps, etc., unbroken. And then we got our resident JoJo who has recently been taking the Zoom videos. And she's like a professional NFL player. She'll like take the videos, review tape, and she's like, all right, this person, their form is shit. And so like she'll send me the videos.
She'll start throwing yellow flags down.
But that makes me so happy because like in the beginning when we started this April 6th of last year, like people came in, they didn't know how to do. Most people didn't know how to do a damn thing. And like now, you got people form checking and spot checking and lifting more, pushing more, doing more resistance, etc. And like, I just told the people at the box today because they're like, why do you do so many workouts? I'm built to work. That's like all I know how to do. I'm not extraordinary because I mean, Matt Frazier is a beast. I am not him, so, but
could be. It's okay.
I do love working and grinding, and so, speaking of Murph, that first year I joined CrossFit in 2015. So after the Open, the following week after the Open, I was looking at the CrossFit website and seeing all these hero wads. I'm like, all right, hero, that's some man shit. So I'm like, Murph, cool. So I went to 24-hour fitness. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tackle Murph. It took me 2.5 hours to do Murph at the box. And I was like in tears. It was miserable. Yeah, it was horrible.
Not a fun experience.
Wow.
I'm trying to think my first Murph time. I think it was like, I don't know, an hour and a half. I don't know. I was just strolling through it, just casually, no big deal. Last thing, talking about your Twitch community, you have put together a MumFit Race. Where did the inspiration from this come from?
This fool, right? So Bros and Blokes in the beginning of the year had a fit race on his channel. And I thought the idea was really cool. He had this like convoluted little board, little squares, and each square had a movement that you had to do. So some of the squares had like rest days, etc. But he had this 6-sided inflatable die. So everything I got from like that we do in a race, I totally stole from him. I asked his permission first. But like, so he would take, and when it was my turn to roll, he'd take the die, throw it against the wall, it would rebound, he'd kick it, it'd land on one. And then like people would send him videos, not even really doing all the movements. I'm like, this is the bullshit. So I was like, can I adopt this? He's like, sure, go ahead. So basically it's a 214 square race. And as you progress through it, it gets so much worse. And I have squares that make you go back, that makes you pull people forward. And I also added stream loops. It's like this card game. So like if you have really cards, you can take the cards and it affects the race and other people, etc. And if you get to 215 first and can last through the day, like after everybody's played their cards and whatnot, then you'll get $200 of fitness equipment of your choice. So you
Nice.
just what you want, and I'll have it shipped.
Okay.
I must say,
I
yeah,
got that idea from him.
I got to give you credit though, because I love how you've made it incredibly interactive. Obviously, not only the extra 214 squares. I think mine only had like 30.
Yeah. Do not pass go. Suck my bullshit.
But
Jeez.
the best part is like the cards that you can earn. Like you have all these different, like, what are they called? The mum cards or the I don't know this name.
Cards.
But they can kick people back.
That's hilarious.
And so I guess I need to be on the stream more often, because I showed up on Jeff's stream and all of a sudden I've been kicked back to like square 14 and I was on 104 and I'm like, how did this happen? What the how? Anyway, I think it was maybe too much of this. But anyway,
So I've taken like some of the people of the community, and like season 1, so I have 2 seasons of cards, and so I basically crafted cards out of people on our community. So like I'll go to like their Facebook and take pictures of them and just put it on a card and have a special power assigned to that card, etc.
It's awesome.
I'm still waiting for the Marmite card.
No,
you have a shitty ass dragon that's got Marmite.
That's true.
It's the death card.
He has all these animations of all his community members, and I'm basically this like dragon that looks slightly overweight, just eyes glaring at a jar of mum, like, great.
Awesome.
I mean, it's perfect.
It is perfect.
Fits it very well. So, Jeff, thank you so much for this today, bud. It's been incredibly helpful for our listeners in terms of all the fitness advice you've given, the nutrition stuff. One more time, if people do want to check out any of your stuff, what are the best web links, the best social media stuff? Give us all those plugs.
You can find me at mumfuriousmovement.com, Mumfurious Fitness on Instagram, and then Mumfurious Fitness here on Twitch. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
I'm not really a big social media person. I really suck at that. My community has yelled at me multiple times. My business model is garbage.
Whatever. It's all right. It's all right, Jeff. Appreciate you coming on the show, man, and thank you for your service. Also appreciate that.
Yes, huge thanks for your service. Definitely for that. That is all today, folks. As always, don't forget to hit that follow button on your preferred podcast platform to get our weekly show dropped neatly into your inventory. You can also follow us on the social medias at Bros and Blokes on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our blog posts on our website, www.brosandblokes.com. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
And we are done.
Yeah,
nice
thanks,
one, Jeff. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Guys
Absolutely.
on stream, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your input. This has been very helpful for us in terms of like growing our stuff and being interactive. So hopefully it all worked out on our end. So much appreciated. I guess we need to rate somebody. I've forgotten how to do that though.
You have not been on here in a long time.
It's been a bit. Any shout outs for raids, let me know so we can get that going. Oh, there's something here I missed. American accent for 1 minute. Sir Gaines, I'm so sorry. I didn't see. So that's the one thing when you're using StreamYard, I guess. There's certain things that do pop up that are Twitch related and certain things, I guess, that don't, like some of these redemptions. So yeah, learning curve, right, guys? Learning curve. All right, let's raid somebody. Any suggestions, chat? Anyone? You
got Fitness, Sergeant Thunder Thighs.
Sergeant Thunder Thighs. I love it.
Sergeant Thunder Thighs. Sir Gaines. I mean, I like that too.
So isn't that
That's
great?
Yeah.
Let's do Mike Fit. He'll appreciate a solid raid. There we go.
All right.
Boom. So we'll get that raid going. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it. Jeff's down the line and we'll give you our final wrap-up stuff. Boom, boom. There's that.
I can't do an American accent, JoJo.
Neither can I. Mike Fit. Oh, I think that already went through, didn't it? Guess we're about to find out.
Have you interviewed Mike yet?
I have. Yeah, I did get Mike. Yep. So he's opened season 3 for us. Yeah. The tally is growing of our Twitch people. We've got yourself, Mike. We got Tomination Time. Do you remember Tom?
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Tom.
And what was the chick that we?
Oh, Keely.
Yeah, Keely.
Yep. We got Keely. Yeah, we're doing good. We're just checking people off the list.
Slowly but surely, working our way down.
You stream?
Or up. No. I did once back in the day. Some friends wanted to see Fallout 4 when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just hot garbage at the time. Like everything was buggy and glitchy, but I still had fun with it.
Still rolling with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, we appreciate your time, of course. Thank you again for this. This has been amazing.
Absolutely.
We'll get this edited. We're probably going to upload it in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. We have a bit of a gap, but we're just going to throw it on the old podcast realm, and then I'll give you all the links. So to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. So you can kind of share it however you choose to. But yeah, that'll wrap it up.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, that's been great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
This has been really
Thank you
cool.
very
Really
much.
appreciate it. All right, bud. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Yeah.
Take care, man.
Bye.